Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to this SmackDown review and opinions video. So this is your comments more than mine, your thoughts more than mine, but I still like to give a few minutes of thoughts at the start. For me, this is probably a 6-7-5 type show. I think we have a good first hour. I think the Sami match is the highlight. And then I think from there, it was kind of downhill. I didn't really get much from the second part of the show. I really enjoyed the open. I'm not a big fan of Brock being back, but I am a fan of how they used him. They brought him out. He murked the commentators, more so Corey, of course. And it makes you wonder where we're going to go from here. You know, is Corey going to get in the ring and have a match? I think it'd be a real shame if he didn't. And obviously he's been out of wrestling for a long time, out of the ring, that is, doing commentary. So he got cleared a couple of years ago, apparently. And so he could come in and actually do something. So it makes you wonder about that, right? I don't think it's really setting up Corey versus Brock or anything, but it does make you wonder where it's going. And then, of course, the cherry on top of that open would be Brock going up to Heyman saying, let's talk soon. I mean, you know, their relationship obviously goes all the way back. So that is obviously very interesting as well. So there's all these little interesting things that are happening that just keep you engaged. Then the first match, Alexa Charlotte against Alba Chelsea. I thought it was absolutely fine. I don't think it was an amazing match, but I certainly didn't think it was terrible. Then, of course, we get into the Vision and Fraxiom. I didn't really need that match, but I won't ever turn down an opportunity to watch Fraxiom. For many people, they were one of the best tag teams in wrestling. Then they got called up, and now they're just struggling to get TV time. Like, we do need to see them on a more regular basis. So actually putting them in the ring, great. I just wish they had more of a chance to shine. And then, of course, we hear from the Usos, and then we go to our third match. This was Sami and Carmelo. Great 66, you lot said. You really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I don't think it reached the heights of the Rey Fenix match, but it kind of gave me what I was expecting. I thought it was going to be a great match. It proved to be a great match. Lovely. I think this US Open Challenge is a big success. And as we said, you know, that was kind of us past the halfway point. I also didn't mind Nia mocking Tiffany. I thought that was pretty fun. Championship match made for next week, a triple threat. Not down on that. I know we were meant to get it at WrestlePalooza, but whatever, we'll just do it next week. Goods. The R-Truth thing, a bit annoying. Just using him to let the wrestlers know how they can get the app. You know, I mean, it is what it is. And then, as we said, the last half an hour, it kind of fell down a bit. So, for me, 6.75. I think that's very fair. I think we started off hot. I think we had a great match in there, and there's been certain shows this year where we haven't even had a great match at all. So that's why I'm kind of in that range. But I think had we have been able to have kind of kept the energy of the open and had another great match in there, you know, then we could have been in a much better place. So, yeah, let's go down and have a look and see what you lot had to say. So Wyatt Cross said 7.8. Sorry, I rambled earlier. I'm creating art through pain. So Wyatt Cross, 7.8. Thank you. Molly said, I thought it was incredible. Here's what I thought. So we have got probably too much to read here, to be honest. But overall, SmackDown combined intense in-ring action, compelling promos, and effective storytelling, balancing chaos, comedy, and drama. Standout moments were Brock's unhinged opener, the Rhodes-McIntyre contract signing, and Sami versus Carmelo, making this episode one of the strongest entries of the year. So 46.2 out of 50. I've not seen a score system like that before. 46.2 out of 50. So, Molly, thank you. We have Shaquem saying today's show was okay. The two good matches was the tag match and Sami versus Carmelo. R-Truth is funny, but I think they're promoting something, and it's stupid having him put his phone in a toaster. Now kids are going to want to put their phones in toasters. Well, hopefully not, because that is a really dumb thing to do. So, there we go. Shaquem, thank you. OTC said SmackDown was okay. Not the best. Go home show, but not the worst. Hopefully Corey is okay. And please let Drew win the WWE Championship. So overall, 5.5 said OTC. Taker 1990 said SmackDown was 7.5. It was a weird, in a way. I ranked it this way. Charlotte, Alexa, Chelsea, Alba, match of the night. Shout out to you. Taker 1990, thank you. Brady said, way too much ESPN promotion. Women's Tag Team Championship match was good, but it was too short. I hope the allies, the convenience, go over to Raw so they can get more TV time. Alba said, no Shinsuke or Julia. The Brock segments are still as bad. Charlexa with another okay defense. Fraxiom loses to another random tag team. Their momentum is at 0. Sami Mello was good, but too much ads and video packages. This was a top 3 worst show of the year for sure. Plum Girl said, Daze seemed to be a standard go-home show. Sami and Mello put on a banger, which is great. I'm interested in seeing where the backstage segment goes with Brock and Heyman. See you tomorrow for WrestlePalooza. Total 5 out of 10. Elite Pro Wrestling Forum said, wild open. Didn't expect Graves to ever take a bump again, especially twice. Profits promo was fine. Not overbooked. It's storytelling. Sami Mello was great and match of the night. Contract signing was par for the course, but okay. Rest was good. Okay. Miz was great. Hour 2 lacked, so 6.5. See you tomorrow. Just touching on Miz. I didn't listen to him loads, to be honest, but there were times where I heard him getting animated and I found it a little bit frustrating. There were definitely shades of Pat in Miz's commentary, like the energy, the enthusiasm, and I don't know. I mean, for me, like, it can come across as really fake and forced and OTT. And, you know, that's just part of the reason why I don't enjoy Pat on commentary. And I felt like Miz was definitely playing from that same playbook. I think it is good to bring energy, but I think you can go OTT with it and it can be misplaced. And there was definitely areas where it felt like it was off. But considering it was his first time and considering that he is going to have a lot of insight that he can provide, considering the fact is like a 20-year veteran at this point, yeah, I kind of feel like there could be a home for him on commentary, but I think it's a skill that he would need to develop. He would need to evolve. I would definitely put him down in NXT for a while if this was something he was going to transition into. So certainly not a door that I think is closed, even though there's plenty of people that are being critical of his commentary. I just think that if you're going to do it, go and learn it. Go and learn it. Go and get, like, you know, your teeth stuck into NXT. And, you know, I think he could be quite good ultimately because he's a very confident talker and he has things to say. And I think the stuff that he says can be valuable. So, yeah, interesting. I don't know. I'm guessing that was just a one-off, but I think there is a way forward there for him to transition to that once his in-ring finishes. Ryder said 625. It was an easy watch and it was better than a usual go-home for SmackDown. Some nice angles and video packages and matches were all mostly good. The Brock Michael Cole stuff was somewhat different, which I appreciate, and I am intrigued by the Bo Dallas stuff. Robbie said, kudos to Corey for taking those bumps his first in years. I'm giving it a 5. It was fine. I wasn't really invested and I was paying more attention to the football. I'm struggling to find a reason to watch WrestlePalooza, especially with an entire slate of football games, says Robbie. Cameron said, good show, but do we think they wrote Corey off due to Carmelo due to have their second child? Maybe. I don't know, honestly. I think that he will be off for a bit now. Obviously, 2 F5s when you're not used to taking those kinds of bumps should result in him missing a little bit of time. So, yeah, it could be. Tiffy Time said it was good, but I just wish that Tiffany's match was tomorrow. Muggsy didn't enjoy it. Muggsy gave it a 4, but Comic Book Guy gave it a 6. Chris said, Daze, it was a fun watch. I was sports entertained. I give it a 7. Definitely don't see Corey taking an F5 tonight. And another banger from Sami. Kind of seems like we're getting better shows on the way to ESPN. I could be wrong, but what do we think? Am I crazy, said Chris. No, I think we're in a better place at the moment. I think that, I was kind of full of praise for the thread they had on Raw of the whole Jimmy J LA Knight thing. And I actually thought like Raw felt like there was an improvement there. I think Raw has been greatly boosted by AJ Lee's return. And I think that SmackDown feels like it's being boosted at the moment as well. And I think part of that is because of Sami's open challenge means we're guaranteed to get at least one great match each week. Obviously, sometimes you get Cena. Obviously not anymore, but we have had Cena. Past couple of weeks, we've had Brock, which, however you feel about Brock and Brock coming back, they're still noteworthy segments. And actually, I thought this was the best way they'd used him so far, with him and Corey, which leads to a lot of questions around Corey, and then him and Heyman, which leads to a lot of questions. So we used Brock, and I thought we used him as well as we could have used him. I don't think there was a better way of using him this week than what we did. So I think there are reasons as to why we're seeing the shows just pick up a little bit, just improve, and a nice pace to the shows as well. Like, didn't feel like it dragged until we got to that second hour, once we got past that Sami match. So, no, I think my score was higher, honestly, but it dipped because of that. Yeah, second hour kind of died, said Edward. First hour was great, second hour kind of died. Edward said it settled on a 6 for him. Very fair. John Elite said, I wonder if they pulled the trigger on the Street Profits split him. Corey getting F5 by Brock and Heyman interaction. Solo Tonga lower in the vignette was good. Where was Hikuleo and Jeff Cobb? Well, I'm thinking they might do a different one of those each week. This might have been the Tonga lower one, but actually next week we might focus on Tala Tonga, week after maybe JC, and maybe it's just going to be a great way of introducing everyone again. I thought Miz was going to interfere during Carmelo's match. Jacob is MIA. Oppola said, honestly, it was an okay show. It wasn't overly special. I'd give it a solid 5 out of 5. Well, that's good, isn't it? Could have been better. Could it have been worse? Yes. So I'm happy with what I got. Do we think Paige will make her return soon? She said she wants to. Well, she could do. I mean, whenever we spoke about Paige, I feel like a broken record in the sense of I keep saying the same thing. I was not impressed with what I saw when she was in AEW. So it's not meant that I am sitting here desperate to see her return now. But she has come out and said that she feels like the Paige character is a character she wants to revive. It took her a while to get rid of the ring rust in AEW. She's kind of said a few things that make me think, oh, okay, maybe it was just a bad time. And perhaps there was ring rust. And perhaps she was a bit worried about her neck. And perhaps she is in a better place. And if she comes back to WWE, perhaps they can bring the best out in her. I don't think that's a door that's closed. I do find myself wondering if we need Paige. I do think the women's division has moved on. And as I said, there's still a bad taste in my mouth by what I saw in AEW. So, I don't know. I think there's a chance. I certainly would use her in the Rumble. Definitely. I think she'd be a great surprise for the Rumble. I don't know if you give her a Mania match or something like that. She's going to be looking for a proper run. And I don't know. We'll have to see. I think there is a chance. But if it doesn't happen, then I think that's okay as well. You know, I think that she had an impact. Her legacy is assured. She is the first ever NXT Women's Champion. She is the anti-diva. She was kind of at the forefront of bringing in that change. She was obviously part of the Women's Evolution Revolution. She was in a team with Becky and Charlotte. And, she kind of helped transition from the Divas era going into when the belts became the SmackDown Women's and the Raw Women's. And, we saw that kind of transition. So, yeah, I think she's definitely played her part in the history of women's wrestling in WWE. So if she comes back, let's go. Ryan said, I enjoyed SmackDown. All the matches were good. Miz wasn't that bad on commentary. I can see him doing it when he retires. Drew posted on Twitter was the highlight. WrestlePalooza is going to be sick, said Ryan. See you there. Raymond said, Daze, I thought SmackDown tonight was good. It was decent. SmackDown was good, almost great. But I did enjoy seeing the quarterback Cody tonight. I'm going to give it 7.25. Shout out to you and see you tomorrow. See you tomorrow, Raymond. Max said 6.5 for me. Sami and Melo put on a banger. Wrestling God said, I'm going to score the go-home SmackDown for WrestlePalooza 7.8. Mitchell said it was on the show. Corey taking the bump was gnarly. I enjoyed the Sami match, but everything else just seemed a bit thrown together. Where the heck is Julia? And why does it feel like I'm only seeing the same few people in the same stories? It seems like WWE right now, 575 to 6. Well, I heard a rumor Julia's on the show next week where it's going to be her and Kiana against BFAB and Michin, so you might not have to wait long. Brendan says King of Kings, and FYI said The Miz is underappreciated. Dub Graves for taking a bump. Dub Alexa. Bo is great in the time he's allowed. The amount of ESPN ads tonight are cringy, but I enjoyed SmackDown otherwise. Jade really sucks. I hope Melo becomes a face. He's effing good. Cena Brock is going to be brutal, so 6.5 said FYI. Wild Child Billy said, good. I usually see the toilet for Brock. Rest of the show was better than usual. Michin on TV. Hopefully she can bring gold to the movement her and I started. Hopefully Drew wins the title. If not tomorrow, then Mania. And lastly, justice for Zelina, said Wild Child Billy. Jason said the show was okay. I give it a 6. Daryl said SmackDown gets a 7. Good for a go home. Match of the night, Sami Carmelo by a country mile. Good to see Corey take 2 F5s. And see you for WrestlePalooza. Real John said the show was all right. I did not like all the cringe promotion for ESPN. That is not even worth it. Really don't care for the lazy build for Cena Brock. WWE can't decide what they want the main event of WrestlePalooza to be. $29.99 for ESPN to watch the PLAs is stupid. It's ridiculous. Uncle Howdy Dreads says yeah, and we get a 7. Stonewall said Corey Graves might be dead. Just saying. I don't think he is, but I hear you. As far as I can see from the highlights, I think today's SmackDown lacks interest. There was no Julia promotion. 4. Do you need more SDGM ingenuity? What's that? SmackDown General Manager? I mean, if you did you not watch the show? You just watched highlights. I don't know if you can massively score it just by going from that. It had a good pace, honestly. It had a good pace. It had a good momentum. I did fall away though. But yeah, I mean, look, I think Vision Fraxiom was okay. It was the weakest match, but Alexa Charlotte I thought was a decent match, and there was some good urgency there. And some nice little moments. Carmelo, Sami definitely could have done with a 4th match, in my opinion. I think the show would have greatly benefited, certainly if it had been really good. So, I mean, look, 4, if that's what you score it, that's fine. I just don't know if you get the full picture from highlights. Tracy said, I think tonight SmackDown started out hot with the Brock Lesnar promo, and I hope that Corey is okay. Second hour of the show did slow, but the Sami Melo match was good. I'm giving it a 7, so see you for WrestlePalooza. Crystal said it was awesome. The other side of my sign said, sorry son, no dinner, mom is at SmackDown. Oh, look at that. That is really cool. Thank you, my friends. I really appreciate that. I am in a Wrestling Daze. Oh, that is great. Do you know why as well? Because that is how the name came about. I don't know if you've heard how the name came about, but you've actually stumbled across why the channel is called what the channel is called. So I used to watch wrestling with my partner at the time, and afterwards... we would only watch NXT, Black and Gold NXT. She didn't watch Raw or SmackDown. But she could cope with an hour, right, of NXT. And so afterwards, I'd go to talk to her about what we had just seen, and she'd be like, no. I don't want to talk about it. Like, you're going to have to think about it. You think about it, and I'll see you again next week, right? I mean, she didn't go anywhere, but she was just like, that's it. No wrestling talk till next week, right? And actually, I kind of respect the fact she gave me those boundaries. I kind of respect the fact she was like, this is the boundary. We are not talking about wrestling outside of the hour that we spend together watching the show, right? So then next week we watched it, and I didn't say anything to her after because she told me not to. And she's like, you do realise you go in a Wrestling Daze now. You keep going into a Wrestling Daze. I was like, Wrestling Daze? Wow. That's really interesting. So that's how the name came out. So you saying I am in a Wrestling Daze, I'm right there with you, buds. I'm right there with you. You and me can go into a Wrestling Daze together. So, and there's the view that Crystal had being at SmackDown, watching Brock murk Corey Graves. So, and what was the backside? Other side said, sorry, son, no dinner. Mom is at SmackDown. That's really good. That's really, really good. I'm going to actually retweet that out so I can add that to Unseen. So, thank you, my friend. And Chris said, started hot with Brock murking Corey. I want to know what Paul and Brock are talking about. Alexa Charlotte was quiet. Profit's promo was off. I do agree with that. I do agree. Fraxiom was expected defeat, yeah. And who was Fraxiom supposed to fight? It's a good question. Sami Mello was decent. Nia was there. Well, look, Nia was there, but her impression of Tiffany was funny. Yeah, it's Tiffy time. It's Tiffy time. So I am going to say she was there and she did at least one thing good, right? And the contract signing was to be expected, said Chris. So, Chris, thank you. Crystal, thank you, my friend. Thank you to everyone that left their thoughts. A real wide array of numbers as people had differing opinions as to what they thought about the show. But I don't think this is a show that, like, destroyed it, killed it, knocked it out the park. It seems like the general consensus is this is around a 6.25. As I said, I was at a 6.75. I found this to be more palatable than usual. And certainly when you add in the fact it was a go-home show. So, yeah, good. I'm all right with it, honestly. I'll take that. And on we go. So we're back later for WrestlePalooza. Should be fun. Looking forward to it. Triple H says there's going to be surprises. I don't know what they're going to be. I think there's lots of potential. Going to find out. So thanks for watching. See you later for WrestlePalooza.